Yeah, we picked up there was a television studio in town that was downsizing and moving and doing a bunch of stuff, and so we knew a couple of people who were involved in it. And basically, after they cleared out and took all their stuff to their new location, there was a ton of stuff left over that there was like didn't make sense to move to the new place. And they're like, "Hey, you guys want to come down and you can take whatever you want." And
Nice.
so, of course, like locusts descending on a thing come down, taking like SDI cables and all these fun things that we go. And one of the things we actually ended up with is this like big huge one of their I guess it used to be one of their like remote cameras, and it's a big huge full size camera, and full, it would have been it's very heavy to mount on your shoulder kind of camera, with a big I think they're called sort of ENG lens on it, and and of course with this style kind of thing, the camera, while being probably $25,000-$30,000 camera, is actually not worth much right now. Because it doesn't. I think it was like 720 or something. Like it doesn't. It's this huge, amazing
early
thing,
HD, so
but it's like early HD. But the lens on it, it's like the lens on it, and so we managed to sort of disconnect this lens from it. Of course, figuring out how to actually attach that to a modern system or
because it's going to be
system. Even the adapters are like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, because it's going to be a B4 mount, mount for a quarter-inch sensor. So, even Super 35 is large in comparison. So you need like, you end up with like this really tight crop, or you need a focal expander. Yeah.
So it's like cool, but we're trying to figure out whether it actually is worth it to do like and it. I mean, obviously, it's not nearly as big as the lens that you have, but it is like
they're not
big enough that it would basically double the size and weight of the camera and totally change how we have to mount it and everything if we were going to use it. But
now you can get modern B4 mount cameras.
Yeah, and I mean we've got we've got a couple Blackmagic cameras like that, and you can like get a replacement mount on it you swap out the EF mount for a B4 mount and stuff, which you can do. Again, those aren't cheap though.
No.
So you end up it's paying all this money just to adapt this lens, and without even in some way not even knowing really if the lens is going to be worth it. But anyway, super cool.
I almost bought. So I was at a flea market in Japan when I was visiting, when I was on vacation, and I really, really desperately wish, in retrospect, that I had taken a photo of this thing, because this guy had a box that was just labeled like cameras, and so I'm rifling through, and a bunch of it is kind of like exactly what you'd expect. Like it's like a Pentax K1000. It's 50 millimeter lenses for basically like every mount that was popular in the last 50 years. And then I see this I just see Angénieux on the side of this lens. I'm like, holy crap, French cinema lens. Let's go. I pull it out, and as I pull it out, it rattles like a rainmaker.
Oh no! Oh, that's so bad.
And I look inside, and the thing is just like full of sand.
Oh
no! And I almost wish it. I'm like, I wish I had taken more photos of it. I kind of wish I had gotten it. Like, even if the guy was like, it's like 500 yen, it's like, okay, I am getting ripped off. This is not. you know, or like 50,000, you know, 50, whatever. Like it's like give me $50 for it. It's like this is not worth $50.
No,
But,
that's a lot.
But like it was in such spectacularly bad condition. So it's that combination of like you're finding a kind of like a dream lens. Like, you know, it's like you've stumbled on something that is just like an amazing find, and then it is in absolutely like truly worthless, unusable condition, unsalvageable. You know, it would almost be better off if it had actually been crushed or something and like completely destroyed and no longer even looked like a lens.
Oh.
Yeah, no, if it had been 500 yen, I would have forked it over immediately. But you wanted like 50,000 or something like that. No, not that much. He wanted 50. He wanted 5,000, $50. He wanted $50. He wanted 5,000 yen.
A fiver would be normal, but 50.
Yeah, $5. I would have bought it instantly. Because like it's easy for like Canada and the yen. They're basically like 1 to 100 right now. Or when I was there,
that's usually...
so it was like it was really convenient. But yeah, no, it was. There was also like all the sand inside of it that I would have needed to just deal with leaking out of it. I would have sand all over the inside of my luggage. Like it's like I would have just had to like vacuum pack it inside a bag.
Yeah.
And, you know,
a little roughage is good for a lens.
yeah.
Roughage.
I
don't think that's true.
Yeah, but it's amazing the whole thing of like, you know, modern cameras with
vintage lenses.
Vintage lenses is a very cool area that, you know, can do all sorts of. You can end up with some really interesting, weird things.
Yeah,
I mean, if that lens actually, like, assuming you could actually like attach it to something and see through it, I bet the sand would give like some really cool like bokeh effect.
Maybe, who knows? It'd probably just look like garbage. Yeah, no. One of the other really unique lenses that I've got is not a particularly rare lens, but it is a rare branding of the lens. So it's a 105 millimeter 1:1 macro. Manufactured by I think Tokina, or Sigma, like one of the third-party lens makers. Except I have the one that is branded Lester A Dine, which I had never heard before.
Lester A Dine.
It turns out this is the branding of the lens for dental work.
Oh,
Interesting.
okay.
Because you can take then 1:1
right, macro, of course, yeah.
Macro, like you could take 1:1 photos, and then your negative is you can just do a contact print, and that gives you the real size of something. Which, you know, in the old days for like designing, you know, it's like, all right, we gotta prepare a crown or whatever. Like, you know, you would do that off of photos.
And I would guess because this is like the version for dental work, it was probably originally like 3 times more expensive.
Probably.
Yeah.
For no reason.
But it also, and I also got it with whoever gave it to me. Like I've got a box of stuff that is just like camera things that people have given to me over the years, and most of them I forget like who gave it to me when, because it just sort of goes in the box and I get around to like sorting it whenever. And I realized that like, oh, why do I have the dental version of this lens? And why do I also have this like weird ring flash? Wait a second. These probably came from the same place. Like it's like, oh, this was in fact like formerly from a dental office, because like you have the ring flash right on the front. All right, open. You put the thing in, you take the photo of their teeth. Yeah.
Now I kind of want somebody. You go into the dental office, they put the thing in your teeth, and then the dentist goes 10 meters back. This is going to be an amazing shot. Trust me.
Just give me a sec.
Yeah. The thing that recently annoyed me the most about lens stuff is, we, as I said, we got Blackmagic cameras in the office mostly. And Blackmagic studio cameras and stuff in our for streaming, and they're mostly great. There's a reason Blackmagic stuff is good, but I always find Blackmagic stuff is amazing, and they do a great job, and there isn't really anybody else in that area of the market. But there's always at least like one sort of fatal flaw, or like one weird flaw in their things, or one or two, and one of them is they use the Micro Four Thirds lenses for at least the studio cameras, which is fine, except they also advertise about, it's like, these are great because they you can use them for studio setup and use remote control for them, for remote control zoom and focus and iris and all this stuff. And that's true about focus and iris and stuff. There are two lenses.
Yeah.
Two lenses have ever been made that have remote that have powered zoom.
Demand power zoom.
Demand powered zoom for Micro Four Thirds. There's only two lenses have ever been made, and they're both terrible. One of them is like a super telephoto lens, and there's only one that's like a sort of a lens that runs in like the regular area, and we actually have it because we used it for a while because it was handy to have for our overhead camera. But we used it for a while, and then we ended up switching to a different lens and being like, this sucks, but also like it's worth the effort, having to go up on a ladder and zooming this lens in and out manually, because it's so much sharper. Like the powered zoom one is not good, but it's frustrating that like still, like even now, it is still being advertised on the Blackmagic website as having that capability. And it's like, yeah, for the two, which I believe are both discontinued now. So it's like, maybe you guys should like produce your own lenses if that's something you're going to do.
Yeah. It's like maybe we thought this would take off, more. At the time, it's just like, MFT's the future. Olympus and Panasonic are giving it good support, but no, it's all.
But
it's all weird and wild. I love my Blackmagic cameras, but I am not pretending that they don't have some like fairly significant flaws. It's largely a thing that you cope with because what you're otherwise getting out of it, very, very, very few cameras offer in that price point.
It's true. Yeah. Like there's really not a lot of competition in that area. And they are like, they're mostly, if you can, if the area that they're weirdly deficient in, is something that you can handle, then it's fine. It's just, you have to sort of keep that in mind, that and the thing that always frustrates me about stuff with this, where it's like, it's usually something that like I ask about or I'm thinking about like 30 seconds after I see the announcement of the thing. Like, it's not like it's not like a obscure aspect. It's like, oh, you didn't think of this. It's like, really, guys? But
I mean, this is actually like this is a Pocket 4K that I'm just using as a webcam.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's a good camera.